Hey, what's up everyone? I am making this video to get an opinion. I have been going back and forth a little bit with Milwaukee tools, and if I signed a contract with Milwaukee tools, would that make me a sellout? I don't know. I'm kind of thinking about all that right now because I've had some contact with other companies after making this YouTube channel about using their products. But to be honest with you, those companies that contacted me in the past, but they weren't really companies that I like. Let's just put it that way. Not that I'm too good for them or something, but I just don't use their stuff, so I don't really see the purpose in endorsing something I don't use. Now, on the other hand, I really do like Milwaukee. I'm a really big believer in their tools. So that's what I'm thinking. You know, a lot of times with these brand deals, you're like exclusively using their tools. So, you know, would that make me a sellout to exclusively use tools that I don't currently use exclusively by Milwaukee? But on the other hand, I haven't really used a lot of Milwaukee stuff because they're not really in the stores. And I remember when I first was looking into getting a big miter saw, I was really considering the Milwaukee, but I went with the DeWalt just because I drove down to Home Depot, which is where I'm pulling up to right now, and I just picked it up, threw it in the truck, and bought it. So it was a lot easier. But I really did consider the Milwaukee. I just didn't want to wait to order it. So that's kind of what I'm wondering, is like, would that make me a sellout? I know a lot of YouTubers do that. If I was to do that, honestly, I don't think that would make me a sellout. Tell me what you think in the comments. I think it's a great opportunity to, even if they say exclusively use our stuff, you know, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I would just want to test their stuff and make sure that I like it. Now, out of the Milwaukee tools that I currently own and currently use, they are top of the line. I mean, they're up there with the best of them. So I'm not trying to endorse something I don't like. I really like Milwaukee. I have currently their 18-volt jigsaw. I have a lot of their 18-volt system, the impact, the drill driver. The impact driver and the drill. What else do I have Milwaukee? I had the 12-volt system. That was a good system. I gave that to my wife because it was a 12-volt system for girls. Just kidding. But seriously though, let me know what you think. I am seriously wondering what to do, if I should just do this or not. But we'll see what Milwaukee comes up with. In the meantime, I'm going to go in here and look at some of their stuff. Oh, I also have the router too. So the router is amazing. It's a 3.5 horsepower router, and it has got me through a lot of jobs. It's a beast. I forgot to mention that one. The Milwaukee router is one of my most heavy duty tools. So I'm walking up to the nail guns right now, and I will say this, I did buy a Milwaukee nail gun. I actually bought this nail gun right here, the 18 gauge brad finish nailer that's the battery powered, and I was not impressed, and this is the reason why. 7 pounds, and it had a lot of jams and misfires, so that would be a sellout moment if I told you to use this and I don't even like it. They also have a 16 gauge straight finish nailer, and I haven't tried that one yet, but it looks like the same build and the same body. Honestly, I would not use that gun unless they improved upon it. Number one, with the weight. Number two, with the drive of the nail. So that's one thing they would have to improve on if I was going to endorse it. So that's like a little sellout kind of moment. Now down the hand tool aisle, I mean, basically to me, this stuff is kind of all the same. I'm not gonna lie to you. One of my best razors though is this one here. I really like this box cutter razor. It flips out, and then you push the button to flip it out right here, and it's like a really fast action razor. I haven't tried any of all these other products because I don't really need them, but we'll move right along here. All this stuff basically to me is the same. I mean, every company is going to make their own stuff, you know, and a lot of this stuff is like electrician use. I don't really have a use for a lot of this stuff. So let's move along here. Big Milwaukee toolbox. Wouldn't really be good on a job site. Now I do have this little ratcheting multi-bit thing. I really like this. You can switch out the heads and stuff like that, and it ratchets, which is really cool. All this other stuff is pretty basic. Again, screwdrivers and drivers. I really want to try the big miter saw, that big 12-inch Milwaukee miter saw. That thing looks awesome. That would be the first thing. Send me that. Walking down power tools now, passing some Milwaukee stuff. A lot of the stuff I don't use or need, but they do have sanders. Use an orbital sander a lot, and would like to test this one out. Looks pretty good. The orbital sander is one of the things we use a lot of. Don't really use the angle grinder. Now I've heard some people say you can cope with an angle grinder, so that might be an interesting experiment. What else they got here? Palm sander. Definitely be willing to try that out. I'm on video. Now here's one cool thing. Wet dry vacuum, 18 volt, $100. I am actually in the market for one of those, so I might want to try that out. I need a new vacuum, and that could be the one. Definitely willing to try that out. All right, here we go. The most important tool on the job site, I think, in my opinion. And Milwaukee has a battery powered cordless miter saw here. It's a 10-inch sliding. It keeps the slider rails at the bottom. And although this one is cool, I wouldn't really have a use for it. I would love to try it out, but I think that I don't ever really need cordless because I'm not doing a lot of new construction. I always have power, but still, to have the opportunity to just use cordless is awesome. But I want to see a 12-inch cordless from Milwaukee. That would be amazing. That's obviously the thing I'm most interested in, because that's going to be the thing I use the most, my most important tool. And how cool would it be to have a red saw with a red Diablo blade? That would be cool. And then coming right along here, we have this little 12 volt. Some of these 12 volt tools would be pretty cool, like this little circular saw. That would be an awesome little 12 volt system, and like a small vacuum. A small vacuum would be something compact to just keep in the truck, and even like a little small jigsaw like this one back here. That'd probably be pretty cool just to kind of have hanging around, bust it out when you need to cut out an outlet or something. But most of my stuff is going to have to be 18 volts just because I need that extra power, or at least I want it. So I'm not really into 12 volt systems too much, but some of those things are pretty cool. All right, so here we go, 18 volts, Milwaukee. Definitely would want a Sawzall. I think they make the best Sawzall. Now I will say that their fuel brushless is probably the best setup, where you got the impact driver and the drill. That combo is probably the best. I have the Milwaukee setup like this, but I don't have the one key, so that is my best impact driver, and I have several impact driver combos. So then you got your typical, your whole lineup here, and all the stuff that they have. Everyone makes a radio. A lot of these companies, they all make the same stuff, so you really got to try them out and compare them if you want to get an honest opinion. One thing I like about Milwaukee though is all these hole saws. I have not seen a hole saw or any other company with that many hole saws. They literally have a hole saw for every size you would possibly need. And this is pretty cool. Little 18 volt compact blower, then an 18 volt compact vacuum. That is awesome. Companies are now getting into using these battery powered systems for more tools like vacuums and blowers. I've wanted a battery powered vacuum and blower for a long time because it's so convenient when you're in someone's house and you don't want to, you know, run a big vacuum. You can just bust out the battery powered blower and vacuum. And then they got these cool little lights and stuff and all this stuff. I don't really work at night, but that'd be a really cool light to use if I did. And then they got this big tripod you could use for it. So that's it, man. I really like Milwaukee. I think they're a good brand. We'll see what happens. Seriously, let me know what you think about this opportunity, and I'll see what Milwaukee even says. So I'm just kind of going back and forth with them right now. And that's kind of it for this video. Just wanted to let you guys know and really get some feedback on what you think about this situation. But anyways, oh yeah, for those of you who are wondering, now is a great time. Some people have asked me about my material rack and how that has been holding up. And I do have some material up there for tomorrow, so I'll show you that real quick. Here we go. So that's the material rack. I don't know how good you can hear me anymore with the wind, but it is working good. So that's going to do it for this video, guys. I will see you next time, and take care. And then the coolest thing out of everything Milwaukee makes, this little zipper pouch. I'm signing the contract. It's over, guys.